Jimmy Johnson once said that he might not be a good man, but he was a pretty good wizard. Indeed, only a wizard could have accomplished what he did between a pair of press conferences 5 years apart.
I'm proud to be the head football coach for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm excited to be the head football coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I know that there could have been better circumstances as far as me coming into this position, but I would hope that people would be as excited about this organization, about this football team as what I am. We have mutually decided that I would no longer be the head football coach with the Dallas Cowboys.
He inherited a program in its darkest hour, but he knew in time, his time would come. He was a man who reached for the stars, make that cowboy stars, and discovered a galaxy bursting with them. From worst to first in just 4 years wasn't enough. He wanted to do what only 3 other coaches in NFL history had done: win back-to-back Super Bowls.
10 to the 5, touchdown Emmitt Smith.
His legacy won't be what he did, but how passionately he did it.
Oh, how do you turn it around like that?
Replacing the only head coach in Dallas Cowboys history was no doubt a thankless task. Tom Landry and Cowboy fans were accustomed to winning. But so too was Jimmy Johnson. He left the University of Miami with a national championship, 44 wins in his last 4 years, and a keen eye for talent.
Kelton Martin here, actually, it had a 9-yard average on punt returns. Really, Martin, right player, right, from Boston College. Had a good year, but should be really a good receiver in our offense.
The only problem was that Dallas had so little talent at which to look, except Herschel Walker.
Let's go, Herschel! Come on!
Walker rushed for over 1,500 yards in 1988. 5 games into Johnson's first season, he was traded.
I don't think that anybody could ever imagine what it ended up being for the franchise. When the trade first was made public, everybody thought that we were trading Herschel Walker, our only Pro Bowl player, for half a dozen players that were somewhat either mediocre or whose career was about over with the Vikings. They really didn't anticipate us getting all the draft picks that we got after we finalized the trade.
But that trade wouldn't be finalized for some time, and in '89 a circus act was on display in Dallas with all eyes fixed on the new ringleader. Johnson's Cowboys were victims of cheap shots.
Nick Lowry kicks off for the Chiefs. His leg's gonna get tired.
And tough shots. And they victimized themselves by playing a laughable brand of football. Finally, 9 games into the season, Jimmy Johnson won his first NFL game.
3 tight ends, 2nd and goal. Jennings motion right. Walsh handoff. Palmer diving up top. Touchdown Cowboys. Here's your 0-16. The ball game is over, and Jimmy Johnson is one happy man.
The happiness was short-lived as Johnson continued to take beatings both on and off the field.
I would have said something to Buddy, but he wouldn't stand on the field long enough. He put his big fat rear end into the dressing room.
I resent that. I've been on a diet. I lost a couple of pounds, and I thought I was looking good.
It got to the point where he needed police protection. Troy Aikman and company only could have wished for the same.
It was extremely difficult, and I think there was a very small nucleus of players that really continued to play throughout that whole season and then go into 90, and it was a very frustrating year. I don't know that anybody got through that season unscathed.
The first year or so, it was like a revolving door. People would run in and run out, and we'd have different guys on the team that we didn't even know. We had like tryouts on our off days here, and it was a kind of an unsettling feeling, kind of not too much security going around here at that time.
I know in one instance, we brought in a player on Monday and we worked him out and we signed him on Tuesday, and he was in the team picture on Thursday, played in the game on Sunday, and we cut him on Monday.
He was just feeling his way through the whole season as well as we were feeling our way through what he wanted. And that was probably as tough on him as it was on us also, because he couldn't quite figure it out why it wasn't coming together as quickly as it was when he was in college.
I was more influenced than what I should have been when I first came into pro football, that this is, quote, the way to do it. This is the pro way, the professional way. I realized that I needed to do it not just my way, but do what I believed in.
For an entire year, he was haunted by the Cowboys' past. Despite all the losses, though, he never compromised his passion for the way he felt football should be played. And because of that, he knew how different the future would be.
I'll never forget, I said, Jimmy, you just gone 1-15. I said, obviously you're a tremendously confident person, but you have to have a few questions about yourself and your ability to do this after last year. What a humbling experience. And he looked me in the eye and he said, I have no doubt in my mind that we'll win here, and we'll win big. Write it down.
Stay tuned.
After the season was over, I'll never forget it. He came January, we had a big team meeting, and he came in and he just said, I apologize for the way the season went last year. It was as much my fault as it was your fault. And he said that we're starting the team now.
Dallas selects Emmitt Smith.
The first big dividend from the Walker trade arrived in 1990, Johnson's second season in Dallas. But these still were a young bunch of Cowboys who had a lot of growing up to do. They made many of the same mistakes they had the previous season, but at times they showed potential.
Bootleg left, throw it on the run, Novacek at the 10-yard line, to the 5, touchdown!
But in the NFL, there's a big difference between potential and wins.
It comes down to this. What a great win this would be for the Cowboys. Here it is, 1st and goal. Straight drop back, Cunningham pulls it down, pumps, throws it in the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown by
10 games into his second season, Johnson's Cowboys were going nowhere.
When you got a team that's 3-7 and looking to, hey, just, let's just pack it in. The season is over and everybody start looking forward towards next year. This man comes in and he keep you focused on the next game at 3-7 when you're like, we're just here.
They were there, but now they were there together. They began to cultivate a personality which seemed suspiciously similar to that of Johnson's Miami teams. They still were stepped on by the big dogs, but at least now they bit back. And like a playful puppy with oversized paws, they stumbled and bumbled but never sat still.
Smith coming left, falls down, gets back up. You gotta be kidding me. I thought he was down. To the 1, to the goal line. Touchdown, Emmitt Smith.
In late November, they embarked on their first winning streak under Johnson.
Aikman back to throw, plenty of time, deep ball. Got Irvin down the left sideline. He caught it at the 20, right to the 15, the 10. Michael Irvin, Cowboys touchdown. 1st and 10, Aikman handoff, Emmitt Smith breaks it to the 40, the 35, the 30. He'll never beat Green. There's the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Emmitt Smith. He made Darrell Green miss.
Victories over the Rams and playoff-bound Redskins and Saints had Dallas thinking playoffs.
And Aikman, 5 steps, throwing for Irvin, left corner of the end zone. He caught it for a touchdown.
A 41-10 thrashing of the Cardinals improved the Cowboys to 7-7. But when they went after win number 8, they got behind the 8 ball. They lost Troy Aikman to an injury in Philadelphia, and then fell in the season finale to Atlanta. But this team did a lot of growing up in 1990. Johnson's win-filled future seemed to be arriving way ahead of schedule, and his confidence level was soaring.
If
you went through the year virtually injury-free and did not make the playoffs, would that be a crushing blow?
It won't happen. We'll be in the playoffs.
Anytime I think about the Cowboys in the last 5 years, I just think about the bravado and sheer confidence of Jimmy Johnson.
While in college, Jimmy Johnson aspired to become an industrial psychologist, which in a sense he did. His industry is football, and he's a firm believer in the power of positive thinking.
Everybody's into it. Started off right.
His biggest role is that he creates such a tremendous positive attitude.
Everybody's into it now.
And there are guys that literally believe, because of Jimmy's attitude, the way he sets the tempo for each week, that there's no way that they cannot win and succeed.
It's just an attitude that he instills in all the guys.
Nice job there, Troy. Nice throw. Good job in there, Michael.
An attitude that makes us go out there and figure that we can't be beat.
47 guys believing, 47 guys hanging in there for 4 quarters. Hey, super job, because you could have gotten down, when they got on top of you, and you could have said, oh, here it goes again. But those days are over with. It's not going to be, here it goes again. 4 quarters of football, anything can happen. 4 quarters now, 4 quarters to it. 4 quarters.
He comes in and says, hey, we will do this and we will do that. This is what we will do, period.
What did I say? I said we beat the Redskins, but let me tell you something. And just like I said last week, what did I tell you last week? Last week I said, that once you show up on Wednesday, we don't want to hear another word about Washington. Enjoy the thing tonight, but we don't want another thing about Washington. All I want to hear about Wednesday is the New York Giants.
Hey, if you hear that enough, you'll be like, yeah, we will do this and we will do that.
Coach Johnson talks about controlling your mind all the time.
Let the mind control the body, not the body controlling the mind.
If you can control your mind and get those negative thoughts out of there.
Right back, kid. We're going to be fine. We'll get it right back.
Think positively that this is another day to get better, then gosh, you're going to have success in whatever you're doing.
Yeah! Looking good, feeling good. Let the mind control the body, not the body control the mind.
Fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Look, Jimmy was a psych major at Arkansas. He's got 149 IQ, knew exactly what he was doing, and I think he handled the team pretty well.
Let's go, let's go! Beautiful day in Austin. All right, all right. Russ, how are you doing today? Romping, stomping, raring to go? Stretch them out, stretch them out. I like it a lot. How about it, Darren? Did some nice things yesterday. Like a well-oiled machine. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I got you there. I got you there. Boom. All right. I let you do that. I don't want to embarrass you in front of the home crowd. Nice catch, Jimmy. Nice catch, Jimmy. That's a nice adjustment. Good job, Alvin. Isn't he pretty? Oh, Michael, 2-hand. Don't be cute. Don't be pretty. Be good. That's right. 2 hands counts the same as 1 hand.
The best thing about Coach Johnson is, you got to respect and trust a man that tells you exactly what he wants. All he wants is everything you got every day in practice, in the game, in the film room. Hey, I can deal with that.
Okay, Michael, that's way to go get it. That's way to go get it, Michael.
That's basically what he said. You give me everything, and I'll back you 100% no matter what you do.
I think if you're sincere, I think if you really come across with how you feel, I think you motivate people. I don't believe in motivating in a phony way. I don't believe in a lot of cliches. I don't believe in going out there and have a lot of phrases and reading quotes from other people, but I do believe in being sincere with your players.
Stay tuned for more Film Session.
All right, class, let's button it. Becker. All right, let's go, man. Let's go, man. Let's get geared up, get ready to go. Sharp, sharp. Good, right there, backside. All right, good job, Diggs. There you go. Good job, Reggie. Let's go, Reggie. That's right. All right, Reggie. That's when to be square up in the hole. That's your play all the way.
He's taught me a lot. He's taught me a lot about football. He's taught me a lot about life, just with the way he approaches it and being positive and being upbeat.
Hold on, Judd. Come on, Judd. Oh, ball. Come on, Judd. Hold on that damn football. God dog it. Come on, Judd. Get the handoff. Now you got to protect that damn football. Come on, Judd. Come on, Judd. Bear down. Concentration. Concentration. Take it on, Bob. There we go. There's a nice tackle. There you go, Dixon. There you go, Dixon. That's the way to stick it in there. Nice job of wrapping him up. All right. That's way to protect the ball, Judd. Run through it now.
I really believe that players can respond to things if you put the pressure on them and you have that expectation yourself.
14-13, 10 seconds to go. We're behind the Redskins, RFK. All right, let's go, Lynn. We got to have it. We got to have it. Got a little wind behind you, got a little wind to the left. You got to be concerned about it. Let's go, Lynn. Focus in. Can you make it? Here we go. It's all on the line. That's the way to hit it. Good job, Lynn. Perfect. Right down the middle. Perfect, Lynn. Cowboys win, as always.
It's a psychology of high expectations. It's the self-fulfilling prophecy. We'll be in the playoffs.
In Johnson's third season, Dallas welcomed more dividends from the Walker deal and a host of other successful players via the draft. Russell Maryland and Alvin Harper were chosen in the first round. Linebacker Dixon Edwards was a second-round pick. Tackle Eric Williams was a steal in the third round, as was Leon Lett in the seventh. In the 12th round, Dallas found starting cornerback Larry Brown. These rookies grew into solid players in '91, while teammates Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin matured into NFL superstars. Double 2 and double 8 meant double trouble for opponents. Smith and Irvin became the first teammates to lead the league in rushing and receiving yards in the same season.
Smith, and left tackle pops out to the 30, a block from right, gets into the 40, breaking right to the 45. Holy cow, what a great play. Touchdown, Emmitt Smith, 75 yards. Thank you very much. I don't believe the run.
The Cowboys had some of football's biggest stars. Now they had to prove they could beat the big boys of the NFL.
I think a year ago, our guys were kind of crossing their fingers and hoping that they could win some games. I think the attitude now is that they expect to win games.
Expectation and determination were written all over Johnson's face as his team met the defending Super Bowl champion Giants.
The 8, bootleg by Hostetler, play fake, throws it out to Jared Bunch, the rookie at the 20. Fumble, Horton picks it up, 15, 10, Horton, touchdown Cowboys! Well, the Giants are stunned, and I think a lot of the Cowboys are, and I certainly am. Aikman straight drop, throws right, Urban in the flag, Urban fighting Collins, touchdown, Michael Urban!
The Cowboys had beaten one beast from the NFC East, but a more meaningful win over a more intimidating monster would tell them that they had arrived.
I think if there's one win that not only made them believe, but made the rest of the league believe, it's probably the November win against the Redskins at RFK, when the Redskins were clearly the best team in football. The thing that was great about that game is that Jimmy Johnson goes up to his players on Wednesday of that week, and he just keeps harping on, we're facing the big gorilla this week. And that was kind of his theme of the week. How do you beat a big gorilla?
I said, you can't just hit him lightly. I said, you've got to hit him with all you've got.
Now the Willis kick to Irvin. Oh, it's an onside kick, and it's loose. The Cowboys have recovered an onside kick. Oh, man, they are letting out all the stops today, and 3 receivers go right. Maybe they're going to go Big Ben. No rush, and they are Big Benning it to the end zone. This will be a prayer up in the air, and it might be caught. It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. Oh, Big Ben struck midnight. Oh, it's got to be your day when you hit that play.
I think it's the biggest and the best Cowboys win since they beat the Giants in 1985 to win the NFC East.
I think the thing that Johnson convinced his players that day is that when I'm telling you that you're as good as the best team in football, believe it, because you are.
After that game, we just said, hey, we could play with anybody. We really can't play with anybody.
Super job of working. Hey, super job of believing, just like what we talked about at practice. Hey, when you ever go after a big gorilla, you don't ever hit him lightly. You hit him with everything you got. Yeah!
2 beasts down, 1 more to go. In 5 tries, Jimmy Johnson had never beaten Eagles. His teams had been overmatched physically, but a victory in Philadelphia would put the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Anytime you're able to beat the big bully, it's satisfying, and without question, Philadelphia had bullied us the first couple of years that we were in the league.
Even with Troy Aikman out with an injury, the Cowboys prevailed.
Furline rolling right, wants to throw. Chase throws it on the road. It's caught. It's a touchdown.
And that sends everybody at the vet home, and it's going to send the Dallas Cowboys to the playoffs.
We showed them. We showed them. Yeah!
A preseason prediction had become reality. The prophecy was fulfilled.
Cowboys, we're here, baby. We're here. We're here now. They rush it and block it.
In their first playoff game in 6 years, the young Cowboys won a defensive struggle with the Bears.
4th down and short. Toss right, Neil Anderson at the 5. He stopped at the 4. They lost a lot of yards. Harbaugh with 1:12 in the game. Back to throw. Little pressure now. Hit as he throws over the middle. Intercepted by Bill Bates at the 30-yard line. Bill Bates saves the day. And the Cowboys now just kill the last minute 4. And they go.
A week later, the Cowboys would lose in Detroit, but in just 2 years, they had improved from 1 win to a dozen. They were among the NFL's best. Only 1 goal remained for 1992 to win it all. When Bill Parcells' Giants dominated the NFL in 1990 and went on to win Super Bowl 25, they did it by playing power football.
Run with some power. See some power, Jumbo.
In 1991, Joe Gibbs' Redskins ruled the league. They too played old-fashioned, down-in-the-dirt power football and won Super Bowl 26. Jimmy Johnson didn't care.
He didn't try to imitate the Giants or the Redskins. He tried to make a Dallas Cowboys team that was very similar to his University of Miami teams. Tremendously quick.
Good quickness there. Good quickness.
I was saying, you know what the rest of the division's saying about you, Jimmy. You can't outrun somebody to a division championship. This game is won with brawn. He looked at me and he says, Peter, he says, do you think I give a bleepity bleep what people think? I know we're going to win doing this.
All right, Derek. See, that's so fun. A little more quick. It's got to make that cut, Derek.
We don't accept that just because others have done it before us in a certain way, that's the way we're going to do it. We might research how the winners have done it in the past, but we're still looking for the edge of maybe a different way, in a unique way to get it done. That way we might be better than those that have come before us.
The Cowboys opened the '92 season against the Redskins and Giants. The goal was to beat the last 2 Super Bowl champs with speed and quickness.
Rips back, takes it at his 21. Comes left, 25. There's a block. 30. There's a block. 40. There goes Kelvin Martin. This one's going 79 yards. Kelvin Martin. Touchdown.
Yo, man, speed. Unbelievable speed.
They are going to rush the Kelly Goodburn punt, and they blocked it in the end zone. Through the back of the end zone for a safety. Robert Williams at the 4, rolls to the goal line, touchdown Cowboys, and the Cowboys have scored on
The balance of power in the NFC East had shifted. Power football had been replaced by speed football. After 3 years of intelligent drafts and trades, Jimmy Johnson had the team he wanted. No longer were the Dallas Cowboys
America's team.
Now they were Jimmy's team.
Stay tuned for more.
Showtime. You know what I mean?
Yo, man, speed!
Quick.
Good quickness. Straight up the middle, way to go.
Tremendously quick.
The thing that I've always said about our players is I wanted them to be playmakers.
Playmaker! Come get with it, play! Come get with it!
I wanted them to have the quickness, to make a play, whether it be the quickness of a running back like Emmitt Smith to avoid a tackling.
The coverage makes a cut. Gets it. Oh, he's still going. He's going to score. He's got the 5. It's a touchdown. Emmitt Smith.
Or the quickness of a Russell Maryland to avoid a blocker and make a tackle.
He has got the greatest ability to put players in the right situations, to give them opportunities to become playmakers. He has the greatest knack of understanding personnel.
When you tell someone that he's a playmaker, when you have someone like Michael Irvin who's got it on his license plate.
The playmaker just made a major league play.
It's an expectation that he has. It's something that is almost ingrained in them, that they feel like that when the time comes, they will make the play.
Playmaker! What I do? Make plays!
Nothing but make plays, baby. Give me opportunity. Opportunity to make plays.
The guy is the best coach to come into the NFL probably since I've been alive. He's got a knack for getting every player to play at his peak.
We know if it's a 60-minute ball game, in time, our playmakers will come through for us.
Playmakers littered the field for Dallas in '92 on both sides of the ball. Johnson and his staff made defensive situation substitution a science. They sent fresh troops in constantly and ordered them to attack.
Tipped and intercepted by Horton from the 15 to the 10, and Ray Horton runs it in for the Cowboys touchdown with a toss left. It's fumbled, and Russell Maryland grabs the fumble in midair and runs it in for the touchdown.
Dallas Cowboy defense, unconscious.
Number 1 defense in the league. Number 1 defense in the league.
That number 1 defense led the 13-3 Cowboys to the playoffs, where once again they met their nemesis. Philadelphia was no match for the NFL's fastest and youngest team.
Irvin motion left, Aikman draw to Smith. Coming left of the room to 20. Got a block from Irvin, the 10-yard line. A block from Harper. Touchdown,
Super job. You are one game away from the Super Bowl. Not exactly a beautiful day, but hopefully it will be here in about 4 hours.
A rite of passage, a passing of the torch, a beheading of an old king in favor of a new one. The team of the 80s was meeting the team of the 90s, and youth was being served. A pair of Emmitt Smith scores helped Dallas to a 4-point fourth-quarter lead with a little over 4 minutes remaining. Most coaches would have been conservative, trying to beat the Niners by beating the clock. But Jimmy Johnson isn't like most coaches.
ability to take a risk gave us an opportunity to win a Super Bowl.
You can't be afraid to fail. I think it's a bigger sin not to at least take an advantage of an opportunity or take a chance than to go out there and maybe come up a little bit short, but at least try.
With the Cowboys' gambler of the past overlooking the gambler of the present, Dallas went for the win.
For the biggest drive in probably 12 years.
Aikman is going to throw deep slant. Caught, 35. Harper's breaking away. Harper's got midfield. Harper's got the 30. Harper's got the 20. Harper's got the 10-yard line. Wow.
Oh, Jimmy Johnson, you're a gambling fool sometimes.
He gambled by trading Herschel Walker. He gambled by making 46 trades in 4 years. He gambled by opting for speed over power. But is it gambling if you know you're going to win?
Everybody, you did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Okay, how about them Cowboys, huh? It might be more colorful to tell you that I was consumed with tense, suspenseful thoughts, but there were none. Oh, I was excited and happy and anxious to get started, but as for the sort of feeling a commander has as a great battle looms, no, that had come 2 weeks earlier at San Francisco. It must have been a more tense time for the Bills than for us, because they've been to 2 straight Super Bowls without a win. It would be 3 when this day was done. I knew that.
And in his 4th season with the Cowboys, head coach Jimmy Johnson.
I just wanted to lay that royal flush on the table and rake in all the chips.
You know, Coach Johnson comes in, he would tell you in the Super Bowl, the difference in the game will be turnovers. You know, I've studied and I've studied and I've studied, and this will be the difference. We will have the turnovers, we will win the ball game. He didn't say, if we make the turnovers, we'll win the ball game. He said, we will get the turnovers, and we will win the ball game. And we go into that game, and they start turning it over, and we start going up. And we're like, man, you know, this is kind of wild, you know. He preaches about a lot of things, but you better believe what he preaches about is usually true.
Jimmy Johnson talked for 10 days about the importance of turnovers.
Well, here's Haley, hit him and picked off in the air. Jimmy Jones intercepts and rolls in for a touchdown.
You know, we were just laying down the cards on the table, one by one. Kenneth Hart.
Going for the end zone. Novacek at the 2, takes it in. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Jack of Hearts.
Aikman to Irvin. Dallas touchdown.
Queen of Hearts.
Aikman a draw to Smith. Coming left, breaks the cuts to the 5. Turning at the 1. Touchdown, Evan Smith.
1 billion people watching on television weren't certain we held the rest of the cards, but we were.
Wow. What a ride it's been. Jimmy Johnson's taken his team from the absolute worst to the absolute best.
I gotta get a new ring!
I figured as hard as we worked for that, why take it off just for a football game?
I think we've got a great chance of going all the way again this year for the simple fact that Jimmy's not going to let us let down.
I told the team just in the offseason, I said, hey, we had a great team last year. We won the Super Bowl. But we will be a better football team next year, and we will be.
Repeat might be the scariest word for a football team. It means expectations have already been set, and anything less than last year means failure. Dallas began to learn that lesson in Week 1.
More than anything else, I was frustrated because I knew we had a great football team and we were missing a big part of that team. I probably hurt our team somewhat in that I had it in the back of my mind that Emmett was going to show up even a day or two before the opener against the Redskins and everything was going to be all right. Knowing the talent on our football team and knowing the opportunity that we had in front of us, I saw the opportunity slip through our fingers.
Oh, boy.
Now it's Emmitt Smith time.
Once Emmett came to town, everybody was positive that we were going to go out and win ball games.
How you doing? I'm sorry I got in the season a little bit late, but I think we
put this thing together and go on and win it all.
First down to 20. The 15 is gone. First touchdown of the year for Emmitt Smith. 22 yards for number 22.
Boy, Emmitt Smith. That's all we want to see. Emmitt Smith.
Despite a 2-game holdout, Emmitt was on his way to a 3rd straight rushing title. What he wanted was a 2nd straight Super Bowl.
62-yard touchdown, Emmitt Smith. Retire the trophy.
Number 2, baby.
The Cowboys were winning and, naturally, gambling. But just when Johnson's finely tuned machine seemed to be racing towards another Super Bowl, the wheels started to fall off.
Aikman's hurt at the 50-yard line.
Aikman and Smith both went down with injuries. And Thanksgiving Day, the nation watched the Cowboys' woes snowball into another letdown.
It's a 41-yarder. It's a first down kick. And it's blocked. It's blocked and rolling around at the 10-yard line. Jimmy Jones got the block and no one. Yes! Oh, Leon Lett. Leon Lett.
The once ultra-confident Johnson was now hoping for wins.
I just want an ugly win. Somehow, some way.
With 5 weeks to go in the season, Johnson watched the 7-4 Cowboys return to their winning ways, thanks in large part to the development of more young, fast talent.
4 at the 27. Isaias in 3 steps, throws to his right. Kevin Smith intercepts the left side.
Kevin Smith, the team's top pick in the '92 draft, was yet another dividend from the Walker deal. And '93's #1 pick, Kevin Williams, helped beat the Redskins and set up a division title showdown in the season finale in New York.
To the 20, Kevin Williams, 62 yards for his 2nd punt return touchdown as a rookie.
Jimmy Johnson down here, just smiling. Jimmy Johnson, got that smirk on his face. We're going to shut it up.
Well, listen, get a great day for it. All right, Dan.
Good luck to you. Hopefully we'll see you next.
All right, good luck in the playoffs.
Third down and a long 2, and Aikman with a draw to Smith. Coming right first down. 25 to 30. A lot of room at the 40. Chased at the 40 of the Giants. And hauled down at the 35. And Smith is down. Emmitt Smith is down at the Giants' 30.
A severe shoulder separation stalled Emmitt Smith, but it couldn't stop him. His heroic performance gave the Cowboys a chance for a win.
41 yards, good snap. The hold is up. The kick's on the way. Cowboys win. What a great...
5 weeks ago, or 6 weeks ago, we had a little meeting after Thanksgiving and we said this. If you lay it on the line and you win out, you'll win the division 2nd year in a row, and that'll give us a hell of a shot to get to where we want to go. Hey, you've been under the gun, you've been under the pressure, you had to do it on the road. One hell of a job.
The Cowboys opened the '93 playoffs with a dominant performance over the Packers. They had won 6 in a row and seemed to be rolling along comfortably with the cruise control set. But Jimmy Johnson wanted them to shift to a higher gear.
We will win the ball game, and you can put it in 3-inch headlines. We will win the ball game.
When you have things going smoothly, you sometimes need to create a crisis. I think that if you're not careful when things are going really good, you can look around and all of a sudden you're going backward instead of forward. I felt like that our team was a little bit uptight. I felt like our team needed something to get a spark against a great San Francisco team, and so I made a very bold statement. But it's a situation where I wrote the check and the players, they cashed it.
Back to throw, short slant. Oh, Harper caught it. He's breaking away. 20. He's going to score. Touchdown. Dallas is going to win the NFC Championship again, and we'll never know, thank heavens, how Jimmy Johnson would have responded.
Jimmy said we would win the game, didn't we?
Hey, 3-inch bold letters. Hey, I was guaranteed to win, right? I guess we cashed that check today.
Now, I've been doing a lot of talking, but the things that you said, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. Hey, thanks to you guys,
are going to win it all, walk to walk, talk to talk, you know it.
So here we are again, same time next year. The Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills, and this time in Super Bowl 28 at the Georgia Dome in downtown Atlanta.
Super Bowl 28 began in much the same way the '93 season did itself for the Cowboys. But Jimmy Johnson wouldn't allow the subpar play to continue. He was too driven to go to a Super Bowl and lose.
Two things motivate me as far as, my job. The absolute fear of losing, the absolute misery that you go through when you lose a ball game.
Keep your head in the ball game, let's go!
And the biggest thing that drives me is to see players work and work as hard as any group that you've ever been around, and to see them achieve that success. That's what's always driven me.
To the 30, to the 20, cut right, waits for a convoy to the 15, Washington to the 5.
In typical Cowboys style, playmakers appeared, and Johnson gave them their chances to excel.
Hold your breath, everybody. 4th and goal at the 1. Blitz, pitch left to Smith, blocked from Johnston. Touchdown, Emmitt Smith.
The ecstasy of those players after they've won a ball game, to see their emotions after winning a Super Bowl, that's a feeling that very few people ever experience, and that's what's driven me more than anything else.
He was a wizard at winning, but his true wizardry was that he loved becoming a winner even more.
We don't ever live our lives right down the middle. We're either here or we're there. And let me just say to all of you, when my day comes, I'd like for people to say he had a passion for living. You all rested up after that day off, right? He'll be flying around everywhere today. Now, are you going to stay a good guy when everybody starts singing your praises and everybody starts writing all these great stories about you?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You still going to work hard?
It's one thing to know that a man is trying to psych you and you still can't stop it. You see what I'm saying? That's what I try to tell people. You knew what he was doing, you knew what he was trying to do, but you still couldn't stop it.
Hey, I know you're going to play good. I know you're going to perform. I know that you're going to make the play. I know that you're going to catch the football. And he works. It can't just be rhetoric. It's got to be work.
There we go, up and stop and pick up those knees, run pretty. Run like you got a little bit of energy about you. Protect that football, Bernie. Running in traffic, protect that football now. Here we go. Dominate that line of scrimmage. Dominate the line of scrimmage. Let's go.
Sometimes I feel like I'm in that movie Full Metal Jacket, the way we screaming and going on out there.
Sometimes he's your worst nightmare, and sometimes he's your best friend. He tolerates no mistakes, no penalties, and he'll be the first one to jump down your throat. And you know when he's coming. You can hear his voice.
Discipline. Discipline. You're going to be disciplined enough to stay on sides. Discipline. Let's go.
It challenges you, and it really challenges your manhood. Do you really want to play this game?
Their Week 4 matchup with the Arizona Cardinals, the Jets got back to their AFL roots with both their uniform and their play on the field. So much so that Brett Favre evoked memories of Broadway Joe, throwing for 6 touchdowns. Kurt Warner decided he wanted in on the act as well, and when it was over, 91 points were on the board. So sit back and enjoy an old-school shootout next on NFL Replay.
Not in green, perhaps for the first time in his career. Brett Favre making his 257th consecutive start. And Coach, you knew he wasn't going to have that streak broken.
No, he's 260-plus games. He wasn't going to let a little ankle get in the way of starting here.
Now the Jets wearing blue and gold. They were the Titans in 1960 for 3 years before they were known as the Jets. Thus the different colors. Leon Washington is in the backfield now, and 3 wide receivers to the left on first down. And Washington with the carry, looking for running room, and he gets a couple out to the 33. Chike O'Keefe making the tackle. So a look at the Brett Favre run New York Jet offense.
Well, in the middle, they got Nick Mangold, who they drafted a few years back, but they brought in Alan Faneca to shore up that front line. They got a good 1-2 combination with Thomas Jones and Leon Washington behind them. 2 great receivers in Lavernius Coles and Jericho Cotchery to go to on the outside.
And Damian Woody, also a new face on the offensive line. 2nd down and 6. And Lavernius Coles in motion to the right. Again, the pitch goes to Washington off the left side, and the Cardinals are there. And Gerald Hayes making a superb tackle for the Cardinals, limiting to Washington for 1. And Baldy, let's take a look at the Cardinals' improved defense.
Well, they're fast, and they've got a lot of interchangeable parts. They'll play a lot of guys on defense, but one guy not playing today, Adrian Wilson, was their designated blitzer. He was their playmaker, not on the field today, so they've got to overcome a really good player, Pro Bowl player.
And Aaron Francisco, number 47, playing in his place. Bertrand Berry, their top pass rusher, also out. 3rd down and 5 for Favre on the 34. As time to throw, goes up on top, and the pass is knocked away. It was intended for Dustin Keller, the rookie tight end, and good coverage downfield by Antrell Roll and Francisco, the strong safety. So Kurt Warner, who leads the NFC with 6 touchdown passes, feeling his oats, really having a great time, isn't he, with Arizona so far this year, Paul?
Well, he is. I mean, he won a quarterback competition that wasn't supposed to be a competition. But he finished the season so strong last year, taking over in week 6, that he was in the mix throughout, and they made the right decision, I think, Coach. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, the 1 interception, costly last week, but he's been excellent taking care of the ball.
He has not fumbled yet this year. 1st down at the 21. Leonard Pope has been shaken up, is active, but Ben Patrick, number 89, starts at tight end on the delay. Edgerrin James, who's been their leading rusher, picks up 2 yards, and that's all for Arizona. And the starting lineup for this high-powered offense.
Well, it's high-powered because I think the offensive line has been very good so far this season. They've protected Kurt Warner, and they've opened up a lot of lanes for Edgerrin James. They've got good balance on offense, but if they open this up, it'll put more pressure on that offensive line.
And they do have those big and swift wide receivers. 2nd down and 8 from the 23. Warner getting hit as he unleashes it, and he completes the pass to Larry Fitzgerald. It'll be a 1st down just shy of the 40-yard line. That's one of those big weapons out there, and a gain of 16.
Well, this is one of the guys that you're talking about, Larry Fitzgerald, running just a dig route.
Taking a look at the Jet defense against Warner and company.
Key for them is in the middle with Chris Jenkins. He's what they missed last year with his size. Bob Sutton says he's the key to what they're doing up front. On the back end, how can Arizona take care of the young corner Dwight Lowry, a rookie out of San Jose State?
Speaking of rookies, Tim Hightower, the 5th-round pick on the pitch into the game, trying the left side, and Hightower is brought down, maybe for no gain on the play. Good pursuit by the Jets, particularly Kenyon Coleman, and a gain of 1. Second down and 9, and open out of the backfield is Edgerrin James. James will have the 1st down as he gets into Jet territory to the 44-yard line, and a pickup of 16. 1st down on the Jet 44, and Warner gets hit again and completes the pass again, this time to Breston. And Breston picks up about 7 yards.
You know what? The dilemma for the Jet defense is this. If you've got sheer speed on the field, you can roll to it defensively and take it away. If you've got athleticism, quickness, you can bracket it. But when you've got the size that they represent with Fitzgerald and Bolden, I don't know how you really deal with that, and I'm not sure that they have the people to know how to do that.
The other factor is these guys are excellent after the catch. So you've got to tackle the catch, both Bolden and Fitzgerald.
The gain was 6, 2nd down and 4. And Edgerrin James stopped about a yard shy of the 1st down as he gets to the 34-yard line. The safety Kerry Rhodes coming in to make the play. On 3rd down and 1, a power formation with Tim Hightower, the tailback. Here's Hightower, and he'll get the first down for the Cardinals to the 33. Warner 3 for 4 for 38 yards, looking at 2nd down and 10.
There's Bolden and Fitzgerald in the circles.
Bobbled the snap a little off the line. Warner recovered and completes the pass to Anquan Bolden. And Bolden with a first down inside the 20, picking up 24 yards.
Now the Jets decide to play coverage. They dropped 8 guys back. Here, now you see Anquan Bolden just fighting through that double team. That's the strength that he has. You think, okay, most guys, you could knock them off stride there, coach. But with his strength, you'll see him here fight through the double team. Kurt Warner a lot of time because of only a 3-man rush. And I believe that's not the way to take on this talented passing attack.
4 touchdowns and 7 possessions for the Cardinals when they were inside the 10-yard line. And on 2nd and goal, Warner with a lot of time. And the ball knocked away from Kurt Warner, and a scramble for the loose ball, and Edgerrin James seems to have recovered, and he did for the Cardinals back on the 32, but it was Sean Ellis who came through virtually untouched and forced the fumble.
Now this has been the issue with Kurt Warner, going back to his greatest show on turf days in St. Louis. Watch where the ball's at. It's down at his side. It's away from him. And it's on tape for everybody to see. They've been working on it throughout the offseason to put 2 hands on that ball. Look how low the ball is right there. This is what has knocked Kurt Warner out of some starting lineup, ball security.
So a loss of 23 yards. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 32. And the Jets are hoping they can move the fans, Cardinals, out of field goal range. Warner goes to Bolden, and he loses the ball, and the Jets pick it up. And the Jets picking it up. Hank Poteet, who was re-signed this week, picks up the fumble, and the Jets get it back. As the Cardinal threat fizzles.
We got a 3 and out. And we took it down offensively and drove down to however far we drove down and put ourselves in position, and then got nothing out of it. So I think that was a huge turning point, especially early in this game. I think the complexion could have been completely different if we put the ball in on that situation and take the lead early.
Coming up next on NFL Replay, Brett Favre gets the Jets off the ground and into the end zone.
Under some pressure, fires a bullet, end zone, caught!
And the New York Jets, with terrific aggressiveness defensively, force Warner to fumble twice, but the second time the Jets recover and will have their first possession from the 43-yard line. And Thomas Jones, the running back. Contry going in motion. And Brett Favre going deep. Lavernius Coles down there, and the ball is knocked away. And going for the downs on the first play, Roderick Hood and Eric Green with great coverage downfield against Coles in the second possession for New York. 2nd and 10 at the 43. Brad Smith going in motion. And going the opposite way to Leon Washington. And Washington gets tripped up and is stopped just shy of the 47-yard line. Antonio Smith. And there is Favre, and it's picked off. Brett Favre's pass against the grain, picked off by O'Keefer. And Thomas Jones making the tackle as he catches up to Chike O'Keefer. So each side has committed a turnover and a 39-yard run by the linebacker for the Cardinals, and again they're in Jet territory.
Well, everybody in Arizona said to us yesterday, you got to be careful about the backside when Brett Favre has the ball, because he will come back there and use his arm. Favre thought that the Cardinals were offside and he had a free play, and he just kind of threw it up there. And Chike O'Keefer was one of those interchangeable parts of the Arizona's defense, got a gift.
I'm not sure that Brett Favre didn't see this jump and assumed that he was going to get a defensive offsides. I'm not sure he shouldn't have gotten it. So I'm sure he's thinking in his mind right now, I got a free play, Baldy.
Yeah.
I thought it was a penalty. I thought it was a free play, and I'm not going to make excuses. How can you think and still, try to pull that off. You got to know.
So now the Cardinals have another chance. Coughed the ball up the last time. They were at 1st and goal at the 8. Now they have a 1st and 10 at the 16. Edgerrin James with a burst gets inside the 10. And the tackle by David Harris, one of the inside linebackers.
Fitzgerald down here with their best corner, Darrelle Revis, on.
Tim Hightower is the back on 3rd down and 2. Warner under pressure and tries to get it away. And it's an incomplete pass. So all of a sudden the pocket is broken down on Kurt Warner. That time Sean Ellis and Chris Jenkins. And a flag goes down.
Well, here's Steve Breston on the outside against the rookie. Lowry, he's taken away. Here's Fitzgerald on Revis. Inside help. Maybe he could have thrown that up top. And here's Anquan Boldin.
Intentional grounding. Quarterback also lost it down. 4th down.
So Scott Green and of course Warner just trying to get it away, threw it into actually nowhere. So 4th down coming up. Neil Rackers will attempt a 37-yard field goal. Has missed just once this year. And it's blocked. And the Cardinals want to fall on it. Loose ball at midfield. And the Jets are going to have it in great field position after the block kick. Neil Rackers' 37-yarder is blocked.
Here's Chris Jenkins right in the middle of the line. He's blocked 3 kicks in his career coming in. He takes the center. Nathan Hodel just knocks him right on his backside. Comes in clean. Maybe the kick was a little low, but Jenkins got in there and lifted the center up, and that was the result.
And the Jets on the Cardinal 49, 1st and 10, no score. And Brett Favre, who tried to go deep to Coles the first play, gives it to Thomas Jones, and Jones picking up 4 yards. Cardinals 2 trips in the red zone, no points to show for it. 2nd down and 6 for Brett Favre. Here's Jones, and the Cardinals stop him in his tracks, picking up 1 yard on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Favre has good protection and goes underneath and trying to prevent the 1st down. Thomas Jones driving for it, had to get to the 39-yard line, and I don't think he did. And 2 tight ends, 4th down, and the fullback in there with 1, and they give it to Thomas Jones. 1st down for the Jets. And Thomas Jones, who gained only 37 yards last week in the loss to San Diego. And the Jets keep the ball, move the chains as they get inside the 40. And an empty backfield, 4 wide receiver alignment, and Bubba Franks, the tight end, in the slot to the right. 1st down at the 38, and the pass is caught by Chris Baker, and Baker close to yet another 1st down. Minute 40 remaining in the 1st quarter, still no score, but 2nd down and 1 for the Jets. And the pass out to Jericho Cotchery, and he'll get the 1st down before he's wheeled out of bounds by the cornerback Eric Green, and a gain of 3. Favre completes the pass, and wide open is Bubba Franks, his former teammate with Green Bay, and getting close to the goal line. And Franks was wide open. And I guess with a lot of athletes, fear of failure is their great motivator.
Well, one of the great things Brett Favre does is play fake. He does so much of it. He does it so well. He over-exaggerates it. He under-exaggerates it. Just a little stab to the running back there, finding that alley in behind the linebacker level to the tight end.
And you got to believe that there's a comfort level with Bubba Franks. He only played with them for 8 years up in Green Bay.
1st and goal. Favre's numbers so far through the interception, but the Jets weathered that. Thomas Jones trying to get in there, but Aaron Francisco, who was cut by the Jets in their training camp in 2005, throws Jones for a 1-yard loss. And here's Brett Favre, penalty marker down, and the pass caught for the touchdown by Bubba Franks. A penalty flag is down.
Holding. Offense. Number 74. 10-yard penalty, second down.
And it'll nullify the touchdown, the holding penalty against the center, Nick Mangold.
There's Nick Mangold in the middle. He just finished the defensive tackle on his back right there. His hands were inside, but all the referee saw, the umpire that threw that flag, all he saw him was putting him on his back. Caught the end of the play.
Third down and goal on the 10th play of this drive. Brett Favre stepping up, throws it, touchdown! And that's Lavernius Coles in the back of the end zone to give the Jets the lead. Finally, someone has taken advantage of a miscue to score in this one.
Well, this looks a lot like the play last week, the first touchdown they had against San Diego. Offensive line doing a great job. You've got to buy your quarterback some time with protection here, because that route runner on the very end, Lavernius Coles, has to run all the way along the back of the end line.
I think the first touchdown, he was like the second or third read. I'd looked around and kind of bought some time, great protection. He comes in there, just like the one I jokingly he dropped. I mean, he was third in the read, and the guy's a playmaker.
Next on NFL Replay, the Cardinals continue to be charitable and the Jets continue to cash in.
Warner throws it right, intercepted, picked off by Revis.
22 seconds into the second quarter, Dick Stockton along with Brian Baldy and the coach, Brian Billick. And let's see how Kurt Warner and the Cardinals, with their sharp offense, respond after falling behind 7-0. They'll have a first down at the 24. Drew Coleman, number 30, is in as a nickel back for the Jets, going with 5 defensive backs on first down. Edgerrin James, and James dives forward for a couple of yards. And here's Edgerrin James, no gain on the play, brings up third down and long. Empty backfield for Kurt Warner. Not much of a pass rush by the Jets, and the pass is picked off by Darrelle Revis, and he'll walk it in for the touchdown.
Read a good play. Something the coaches been wanting me to do for a while. Get my first interception for a touchdown, and it happened today.
But they only rushed 2 guys here. Sean Ellis, along with Chris Jenkins. They dropped 9 guys into coverage here. Got 5 guys up there blocking 2. Now Kurt knows he's got a lot of time right here, and he just stared down the receiver on the outside, Darrelle Revis, a crafty veteran in only his second year, jumped that route. And you got to wonder what's going on inside Kurt Warner's mind early in this game right here.
Jets starting from the 17. On the screen pass, Thomas Jones has a blocker. More than one. First down. And Thomas Jones brings it out to the 36-yard line. Good block by Alan Faneca. First down at the 36. And on the end around, it's Brad Smith. And Brad Smith gets by one defender with a pretty good juke and finds himself in Cardinal territory at the 46. Antrell Roll, the free safety, missed a tackle, and Smith ends up with 18 yards.
Brian Schottenheimer's got a nice flow going to his play calling right now. He's used Brett in terms of play action, throwing outside, throwing inside, put the ball inside. Now he's got a little reverse. He's got, I think, Arizona on their heels just a little bit, wanting to figure out what's coming next.
Well, they could do a much better job of stopping Brad Smith if they would make the tackle where they should have made the tackle. This team misses a lot of open field tackles.
Jets with a first down on the Cardinal 47, and this becomes a critical defensive sequence for Arizona. Handoff to Leon Washington, off left tackle, good second effort, first down. You see the value of Leon Washington, jack of all trades. Higgins finally gets him, but not before he picks up the first down at the 34, a pickup of 13.
Well, this is a guy they clearly want to feature more in the offense because Eric Mangini loves him. Look how low he is, always going forward, and he's a guy that loves to practice. He was their team MVP a year ago and can hurt any defense or special teams in so many different ways.
And he's a great changeup to obviously to Thomas Jones, a different kind of bat, so it's a good 1-2 punch.
Jones back in there, first down at the 34. 19, 17, and 13 yards in this drive, and then here's a wide open receiver going in, Coles for his second touchdown. And an injured Cardinal back on the 29-yard line as Brett Favre has thrown his second touchdown pass to Lavernius Coles, and Eric Green is hurt. 34-yard pass, and Coles could not have been more wide open.
It's just one of them things where I know he's getting more comfortable with the offense, and he's actually giving me the go-ahead and talk to him when I'm coming out of the huddle and tell him what I have. And he's allowing me to say, well, what do you think you can win on? And I'm telling him, and he's giving me the freedom to run that route, and he's trusting me to get there and make those plays.
When NFL replay returns, the Jets' avalanche of points in the second quarter continues as the Favre to Coles connection finds the end zone yet again.
The third touchdown grab in the first half.
First down at the 24, and Warner's backed up, and there's another interception. Eric Smith picks it up. So Kurt Warner, who was knocked back, flips it right into the hands of safety Eric Smith, and he brings it back 7 yards, and the Jets again threatening inside the 20.
Well, this is just a disaster for Arizona here. Now, give credit to the Jets. They've applied pressure here. You can see that the center got run right back by Chris Jenkins, right into the lap of Warner, affected that throw, and this thing is going bad to worse.
And for a team that really has a poor record in their trips east, trying to change that today, and the Jets on the verge of extending their lead. Leon Washington, the running back, on a first down at the 19. Washington with the call, and he gets close to the 15. Travis LeBoy wraps him up.
Well, you know, Ken Wiesenhunt has something to think about now. I mean, it's you want to bail on your quarterback. You don't want to panic. But obviously, the way this is going, Kurt Warner is unsettled right now. The difficulty is if you decide to go to that change, and I don't know that this is the time to do it, I don't know that you can go back. I don't know that you're not just giving this football team to line up.
Second down and 6 from the 15. Hand off to Washington. And Washington will be a yard shy. Gets 5 yards, so Kiefer on the stop. Thomas Jones with Tony Richardson, the fullback, in front of him. And they go to Jones, and Richardson with a block and a first down inside the 10. First and goal coming up for the Jets. So it'll be first and goal following the penalty at the 5 for the Jets. Already in front, 21-0. Here's Leon Washington, and he is ganged up on at about the 4. "22-yard attempt for Jay Feely. And the kick is no good as he hooked it. Flag is down, however, at the... Let's see if Feely, getting up, was hit.
Running into the kicker, defense, half the distance to the goal, still fourth.
So it's not an automatic first down because it wasn't roughing the kicker, running into the kicker right here.
The Arizona Cardinals cannot do more things wrong in this first half than they have. I mean, Rogers Cromartie there is a rookie. That's a rookie mistake.
Eric Mangini now in the field goal attempt by Feely. A 20-yarder, and it is good. So after all is said and done, the Jets have extended their lead to 24-0. 3:27 remaining in the first half, and the quick pass on the slant, and it's caught by Ben Patrick, and the tight end getting the first down with an 11-yard pickup. First down at the 37 for the Cardinals. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Cardinals have shown very little, and again they go underneath to Terrell Smith. And Smith will find himself 4 yards short of the first down. 2nd down and 4. Here comes pressure. Warner didn't see it. Loses the ball.